What is up, all of my hooligans? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Ryan once again with another video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to be testing and tuning this McLaren once again, you guys. Obviously, you've seen this car before, but I know the car had a lot more in it, and as was shown in the video, these tires were some of the worst I've seen out of the box. They were very, very uneven. So we're going to fix a few of these things. We're going to tune the car up. We're going to put it around the track with magnets just to get a tune time with magnets, and then we're going to take the magnets out and see what it can do. Also, probably not as quick, but we are on stock Carrera tires, so we're going to keep it that way for now, and we'll just see the differences. So let's get into it. These little magnetic dishes are always helpful as well from Harbor Freight. That's where I pick mine up at. Of course, I use it for working on real cars as well, so it is kind of a double benefit at this point in time. But they are very cheap if you ever decide to pick yourself up one. Of course, it saves you the headache of trying to look all over your floor or carpet for these tiny little screws, which you will obviously need. So let's see if we can't shave a little bit of plastic out of these body mount holes here. Now onto the fronts here. Make sure also that you're being very careful not to cut into any of the wires, you know, by accidentally slipping or applying any force to these LED lights when you're doing it, because I know these body posts are very close to the LED light assemblies and the wiring harness here on some occasions, so just be careful and mindful of that as well. Okay, so next thing, let's pop these axles out of here, and let's see if we can't shave these axles down just a little bit here to make these bearings run a little smoother on the axle itself. So alright, so now that we have them all polished and cleaned off here, we're going to slide them back into their proper spot and snap them into place. And now we just press them back into place, and there they go. They're snapped back in properly. And just for a quick reference, guys, I took the Porsche here apart, and I just wanted to show you. I did just wipe these with the Kleenex as well, and you can kind of see the grit. They have resistance. They're not as free-flowing. And here's also just kind of a quick comparison. I know it's kind of hard not being here in person to actually see it, but if you just listen and watch the axle move. That is the McLaren's chassis. Okay, and then we have the Porsche chassis here with the axles non-polished. So if you ask me, that is quite a difference already, so I'm very impressed with that. Shout out to that slot car guy, Travis. I would have not even thought to polish the axles if it wasn't for his video. All right, let's snap this rear axle back into place as well. And there we go. We're just gonna oil it up and oil up the bearings and grease up the gears, and we should be ready to put the body back on. I am not going to trim the sides. I know that does help with, of course, body float as well, but I definitely I don't want to get into that depth of tuning as I do collect these. I know I had adjusted the body mount clearance a little bit with the X-Acto knife, but I definitely don't want to get into this right now. And we'll get a little bit of just a drop of oil here on these axle bearings to help them out a bit. And the the fourth and final one, and we'll just kind of let it work itself in there. And then also we might as well put a drop of oil while we're in here on the motor as well. And finally, just a dab of grease. And we'll just kind of dab that on some of those splines there and work it in. And we're just about finished here. We got two more things to do. I got these wires out of the way here, excuse me, so we can place some hot glue in here next to the motor pod, just a little bit, so we can make sure the motor is not torquing itself around in the chassis. So we got a little bit on each side of the motor here, hopefully fixing it to the chassis a little bit better. And then I'm probably going to put just a drop on the motor pod mount here on each side as well. Just a drop. And now it looks like all we have to do is true up the tires, and we should be ready to run it and see what it's got. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to true the tires. And yes, this is an improvised tire truer, to say the least. So this is what I kind of came up with. Of course, this is a solid steel slab. It's about the flattest and straightest thing I have at my disposal, but I decided to grab an actual vent cover, and it's almost the perfect height between the car and the track, so I thought that would be a good base. And then I just, of course, use these two really crazy magnets to affix this metal to this steel plate, and it keeps it pretty snug and in place. And then, of course, just taped everything down so it's not trying to move around on me too much. So bear with me, guys. It is, like I said, improvised to say the least, but I think it'll get the job done. So let's see what we can do. All right, let's see if we can now adjust this car for a little bit of body float. I'm just going to back these screws out a few times. So I like the rear, and the front looks good as well. I think we'll start with that. So not too bad. We got a little bit of body float going on. So let's hand it over to our untamed racing driver and see what he thinks of the new tune. It is freezing out today, guys. This Stan is trying to keep his helmet warm. He's all bundled up so he can focus on the driving. He's looking pretty confident, even facing away from the track. So this ought to be a good one. Let's see what he can do.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to put this car back on the track. Like I promised, we are taking the magnets out of it, but I've never taken magnets out of a Carrera car, and I can tell you right now, this one was a pain right under this pinion gear on the motor, trying to fish it out of there. So I had to manipulate it quite a bit, but we did get it out. It had a little snap cover as well that went over that magnet. So this one is out, the worst is over. So now all we have to do is take this front magnet out and we should be good to go. Success, the front one is out as well. So let's put the body back on and adjust the chassis float, body float, and we'll get back into it. All right, car is back together, magnets are out of it. Let's see what weighs in at now without both magnets in this car. So 3.46 versus 3.62, so not bad. All right, so we are ready to attempt our first magless lap with the tuned car. So this still has the stock Carrera tires on this. We're not gonna go 100%, but we're gonna go, you know, good 80, 85 probably, see what it can do on these stock Carrera tires. And I actually did forget I had 2 silicone tires I'm going to throw on the rear of this car, and we'll see what it does after that. We should get a lot better of a result. So let's check it out.
3, 2, 1, go!
Fastest lap by Ryan.
As you guys probably expected and could see, it was absolutely terrible. I mean, I couldn't even get it to register the third lap. It was so sideways coming across the finish line there. So we had 2 laps technically that were recorded, and that was the best lap. So pretty awful on these stock Carrera tires. So let's swap it out to silicone and see what we can do.
3, 2, 1, go!
Fastest lap by Ryan.
So the control unit did not pick up my second lap, so I had to do a few other buffer laps to see if I can get some consistent times going there. But we did not beat the fastest lap of 12.166, which I think I posted on my first lap, if I recall correctly. But yeah, these silicone tires, I believe they're quick slicks. They did improve our lap times over the stock Carrera tires by about 3.3, 3.4 seconds. So huge difference. The biggest thing, I think, I didn't have weight to tack onto the chassis, so that would have improved the performance of this little car by quite a bit, and also the fact that my track does not have extended borders everywhere. So the car was just kind of bouncing off guardrails and sections like that were slowing the car down, and it wasn't very fun to drive in those sections. But the other places where I was able to actually open up the throttle and drift into the bends, drift out of the bends, etc. I love the dynamics of the car. It was very fun to drive, but we could not even get close to our new lap record, which it did do with the magnets in the car after we tuned it. So that improved over its previous lap time, I think, by about 1.2 seconds. We were at about a 9.6, I think, before. I'll have to check the board over there, and we ended up with a 8.4. So quite a huge difference. Very happy with the results, and I really want to start working on the track here in the next few weeks. So maybe we'll get some time to do that and start improving the layout a little bit more, or maybe even redoing the layout, because I have some surprises coming in, guys. So can't tell you what's coming in yet, but there will definitely be some changes coming here soon. But in the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this was a longer one, but just wanted to have a hangout session with all of you out there and do some tuning to a Carrera, which I've never done before. So I've never, or rather, let me reword that, I've never driven a Carrera magless. So it was an experience. Definitely, I've learned a few things, and we'll improve it from here. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you all for watching once again. I appreciate it so much, and I will catch you in the next one.